We're going to try to do this without losing a limb, finger, life limb, or, you know, just getting injured. Good morning, good morning. All right, this is where we're at on this epic day one. We're trying to get the truck finished. On the last episode of the truck, we did not get it completed. We got one side almost done, and then the other side gave us some real issues. What are those issues? Well, this here is a lower control arm, and it is bent. And being bent puts this, which is a strut, in the way of getting out that part, and that part is the part that's torn. So I have to remove that bottom part, and because I have to remove it, I might as well replace it because it is bent. This part right here should not be able to do that, and this part here should not be able to do that. You see that wiggle and the jiggle? So what I had to do is I had to buy new parts to fix this side. And with the ball joints, which is what that wiggly jiggly part was, with it being bad, I went ahead and got new ones. So that's what we're about to do here, is we're about to unload these new ones. All right, so I got those new parts, and I got upper new parts, and I got new shocks in order to get this thing put back together. So that's what we're doing today. I'm kind of figuring out that this thing might be the epic wrench instead of, you know, the epic journey. So guys, stay with me. We're going to try to get both sides knocked out today. There's one part of this that everybody is telling me is extremely dangerous, and kind of worried about it myself. Most cars have what's called coil springs that wrap around to keep your tire pressed to the ground and work in conjunction with the shock to stop bounce, road noise, and keep your steering, you know, firmly planted on the ground by using the weight of the vehicle. This has a little bit different system. This is called a torsion bar system. What does it mean to be a torsion bar? Well, this big bar right here has tension on it. It turns, and every time the car hits a bump, it rotates and pushes back down to keep the wheel on, and acts the same way as a spring. On a coil spring, you can buy clamps and things that wrap around that coil spring to keep it compressed so it doesn't come shooting off air like a bullet. Don't have that on this particular one. That coil spring has been removed and replaced with that torsion bar, and when I relieve that pressure, that lower control arm can slam out, break, do whatever it needs to do to get revenge on releasing all that tension. So we're going to try to do this without losing a limb, finger, life limb, or, you know, just getting injured. This part I don't know. This part I don't understand as well. So I've never done it. But, you know, if you've never done something, now's the perfect time to try to do something. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of YouTube videos on this particular one because I guess it is so dangerous. So hang with me. I want to try to get this figured out, try to get it done today. got everything unloaded. Let's try to get it done. All right, getting my hands kind of clean. Trying to keep my hands kind of clean. All right, this right here is the brake line. Right here's the bolt that holds that brake line to this upper. I'm gonna go ahead and try to get this upper control arm off first. Hopefully that'll give me a little more room to get in here to get the shock absorber out, and then I'll take loose the sway bar end link, and that should allow that to release. That's the plan anyway. All right, kind of give you an update on where we're at. Now I can't film this whole thing, I didn't bring enough battery, but what we have done is we've taken loose the sway bar. We've taken that loose on both sides. Now what that does is connect both lower control arms to each other, so whenever you ride they move in sync. Okay, so we've taken loose that, and we've taken loose, we're trying to get this shock out of the way so this thing will spring down and rotate right down and out of the way. So that's where we're at the moment. We're going to try to get this shock out. As soon as I get this shock out, I'll be right back. Okay, quick update. We're kind of in a holding pattern right now. What we have on the top is we're stuck. This one bolt will not come out because I believe this right here, see how eat up that is? That's the rubber that holds this thing on. The other one was just as bad, but it came loose and it came out. We do have the bottom completely disassembled. What we're doing is just trying to replace this part. So as soon as I get that out, we'll go from there. Now where we're at on the back, on the bottom half, is right here's the old one. Couldn't get that out because of the rubber, so we went and bought new bolts. The bottom is ready to go back in. Got the new rubber and everything on it, so it is ready to go. So as soon as we start putting that back together, I'll get back with you. Sorry I'm not videoing much of this. This is pretty dangerous, and again, I don't want anybody trying it my way and get hurt. So I'm telling you exactly what I'm doing, but I'm just not going to videotape it. So give me just a little bit, and as soon as I get this one figured out how to get this eccentric bolt out, which what an eccentric bolt is, just so you kind of know what I'm talking about. It looks just like this. You can see it's got two big washers on either side, and it's got a flat cut. That's actually flat across there. I don't know if you can see that, but it's flat across there. And what it does is whenever you turn this bolt, it presses up against that upper and lower control arms, mainly the upper, and what that does is it adjusts your camber. So your wheel's like this and it's tilting in. When you turn those bolts, it pushes it out, and then you tighten it down and it makes your front wheels track straight. So I marked those before I pulled them off because the wheels were tracking straight. It's just pulling to the left or pulling to the right simply because of all the bent parts on the bottom half. So now that we've got that all straightened out and figured out, as soon as I can figure out how to get this bolt out, I'll be back and we'll show you what it looks like, and then we'll get back together. Also, you saw there just a second ago, I do have the new axle in. It just slid right in just like the other one. All right, so we'll get back in just a minute. All right, guys, you can tell it's getting late outside. The day is long. I'm still not done. I've had to go out and buy several new tools today. Had to buy cutoff wheels, had to buy a new light, and I had to buy, well, somewhere around here they are, a new set of wrenches, just to make a video and get my truck fixed. So I'm gonna try one more thing. These cutoff wheels, I still have not got that eccentric bolt out. I had to cut it off. So that's another part that I'm gonna have to buy. This video is turning out to be really long and really in depth. I don't know what else to do. I'm just going to cut it off and then hope that I can get one from the dealer, because it is a Saturday. I can't even find out if they have one. So, wish me luck. Off everything out. The axle's in. We're going back together. Just got my new bolt. This is this new eccentrics. These things were 40 bucks for the pair. This thing did not come out. This is what's called an eccentric bolt again. Oh, and by the way, this is like day 25 of this endeavor. But the cam sets in a groove on that to twist, as I've explained that to you guys already before. I had to cut it off to get it out. So now, to not have to do that again, I got a new eccentric bolt, same flat side on it. What I'm going to do this time is I've got some anti-seize that is I'm going to lube this thing up with, so that it does not get stuck like that ever again. So I'm going to put the new cam on, or the old cam on, just like so. I'm going to take my anti-seize, going to paint this up really well so it doesn't stick ever again. Then we're going to place it.
Are we going to do the same thing with the anti-seize to the act?
To everything.
Shock?
Every bolt.
Every bolt.
Every bolt. Alright. Got that in. Got my new eccentrics on. I think. Awesome. Oh yeah, and by the way, I had to check out my new gloves. I got tired of banging my hands up. So
I got a pair too.
If you have the time and the money, I highly suggest you invest in some.
Anything to keep your hands clean, right?
Yeah, tomorrow we got a church event and I don't have to scrub my hands as much tonight. Alright, the top one's on. Take a look. Now I do not have it tight, I just have it set, because on this side you can see I still have to line these marks up where I marked where the cams are supposed to be sitting, between there and there, and right there and there. So I get those lined up and then I'll tighten it down. Alright, now under here you can see that I got this on there. It's not tight. You can see I still got play in it. I'm going to tighten it down once I get a load on it. Now for the bottom, I've got to put this on and got to put it up underneath this part, which is the axle, so it's not going to be in the way. So I'm going to go ahead and install this. The shock, you can actually see right there, it says top. You want to make sure that's facing up. So I'm going to set this down. I'm going to set down my washer. Where'd the anti-seize go?
Right in front of you, sir. In front of you.
Oops. Lost my smuts. And again, like with every bolt, everything that's going to be rubbing, touching, moving, or doing anything, I'm making sure I'm putting anti-seize on the shoulders. Now, because this has a collar in it that runs through the middle there, I'm going to go ahead and tighten this all the way down, because it's not going to affect how this thing moves.
Does it matter which direction you put the bolt in?
Don't think so. To be honest with you, I don't think so. I need a 19.
19?
Good and tight. Or as we like to say in French, or in German, that's gut and tight. All right, guys, we're about still at it. We've only been at it now for about an hour after the last time I talked to you. And let me show you what all we got done. We got the lower on. We got the upper on. We now have the spindle carrier on. And the only thing we're doing now is trying to put 2 pins in on the bottom to hold those in, just to hold that castle nut on the bottom. So we're moving right along. I mean, we're probably only about, maybe once we get this pin in, only about another 45 minutes out of actually having this side done. Then I get to start the other side. That way we can get it all done and get it to the alignment shop hopefully today, or if not, tomorrow after church. So guys, thank you for hanging out for this episode. The amazing truck, the epic truck, I'm done with it. If this doesn't work, I'm just gonna have it towed out, and I'll be back for a video to tell you on that one. Guys, thank you so much for joining us for all this episode. Sorry I didn't videotape most of it, like I said, just simply because I don't want anybody to get hurt, because this is very, very dangerous. And Marquiel saw for the first time what kind of spring and what kind of recoil this thing actually has on it. So guys, stay safe, have an epic day one, and we'll see you in the next video. Guys, I'm excited. I'm loving it. The reason I'm not screaming is I'm sure you can hear some people in the background talking, but I'm ready to punch the gas. Day one. Make it epic. Guys, we'll see you on the next leg. Keep the journey going.